Good afternoon and welcome to NYCryptoTalk. Today's project review is going to be on Tomochain. What is Tomochain? Well, Tomochain is a blockchain infrastructure solution to trying to solve the scalability problem within the Ethereum blockchain. And how they plan on doing that is building a side chain, which is a public permission blockchain, which will then integrate with the existing Ethereum-based smart contract, which will allow for nearly zero fee and instant transaction speed with a public auditability of financial transaction records. Tomochain also opts to use a proof of authority consensus model, which will allow them to build nodes in multiple locations and to make sure the database is highly secure, immutable state. They also have their Tomo app, which will be the first application utilizing their main blockchain infrastructure, will then be utilized for information sharing through a reward engine model. So it's a really cool project, interesting indeed. As far as the actual information on the project is concerned, there is a lot of good details and some partnership information that I have found doing my research. Looking at their website, basically, there's a lot of information on their site about the actual project, what their mission is. They have a good white paper, very well written. It's in multiple languages, which I've actually haven't seen in a while, this many languages for a white paper for a smaller project. So really great that they were able to actually get a translation service for their white paper. And this is a little video if you want to check it out. It is pretty interesting in my opinion. It talks about how Ethereum is slow and that the Tomochain sidechain that can integrate with the existing Ethereum blockchain can become a new way to have a very, very low or feeless transaction, as well as very fast transaction speed around 2 seconds. So really cool project as far as how they plan to utilize the sidechain to fix the scalability issue, which we know is one of the main issues. They also have their Tomo app, which is basically a social network based on video sharing, question answering, and they're going to try to make themselves a little bit different than the existing platforms today. It's going to be similar to what you would see with Quora, I can never pronounce it, Quora, and Medium, where people can usually post questions and people get answers. And what Tomo app will do is utilize that kind of platform to get rewarded for answering questions via video questions. So really cool way of utilizing the platform. They have comparisons with Steam and other platforms along those lines in their white paper. So they say, why Tomochain? Well, it is a scalable blockchain infrastructure, trustworthy by transparency and auditability. That's due to the proof of authority. The fast and easy token integration. The Tomo app has the contributors network, the mining for contributing. So there's no actual mining. I don't know why it says mining for it by contributing, but I guess they're utilizing that terminology to make it easier for most people to understand. There is no actual mining with this. It's actually contributing to the network, and answering questions is how you actually get rewarded. They are very big on user privacy and the built-in zero-fee micropayment model. The Tomo wallet is a focus on security and the user ability, sending and receiving multiple tokens and messages. They actually have integration with the Ethereum blockchain, and they are also building APIs so third-party apps can utilize their Tomo wallet. What I like about the project is, personally, they have a proof of concept for their wallet, their testnet, and they also have applications for their Tomo app. So having all those things, having a testnet for the chain, beta for the wallet, and an actual working app right now. So I think it's kind of cool that they have all those things. Seeing the proof of concepts always makes me a lot more interested in a project, and it doesn't give me as much doubt as some others that promise a lot of this and that and don't come through with what they are offering. This talks about the Tomochain, and I'll get more into it in the white paper. They talk about the proof of authority consensus based on the Ethereum code base, the 2-second confirmation and zero transaction fee, and supporting all Ethereum smart contracts. The testnet is on MyEther wallet. So I don't know how that exactly works, how they are basing it on MyEther wallet, the testnet. but it is kind of cool how it shows up, and I will show it after this before I jump into the white paper. They have the demo of their wallet, so they can actually show you how you can transfer your Tomo coins from a smart contract on Ethereum to the actual Tomochain, or the Tomo wallet. So it's really cool how you can actually cash in, cash out, as they call it, between the Ethereum and the Tomochain. So I'll show that and how it actually works. So it's kind of cool how it works that way, being able to move it in and out of your app. I guess it's more of a security-based model. So the knowledge sharing application is available on the App Store, Google Play, and web app. So kind of cool that you can do that. I'm not going to do too much of a deep dive into it because it actually is a pretty full-fledged application, and it would probably take up another 15 minutes of this video. So I will not go fully into that, and I'm trying to focus on the main product features. So their wallet, talk about the security, the safety, the APIs that they're going to build into it, and to be able to send interactions with users on the wallet platform. So you can actually send messages and your transaction fees all through the wallet, which is always a nice feature, making it a little bit more user-friendly. And they go into the actual roadmap. So the alpha launch was back in Q2 of last year. Q3, they had their beta launch. They had their actual Tomochain started in Q4 of last year, and it's ongoing into Q1. And of course, the testnet is available now. And the Q2, so this is where we are right now. They have a nice little blinky light here. Basically, what they want to be able to do is integrate the token with the Tomochain testnet, actually build the reward engine, have the Tomochain alpha public release, which is awesome, and also be able to build their spam and DDoS detection algorithm for protection of the users and the actual chain itself. Q3, they'll have the official Tomo app release, as well as the integration with the Tomochain. The reward engine will also start on the mainnet, so the actual reward engine model, which they actually don't have the full details on it, it will be published once we get closer to the mainnet. So once we get closer to Q3, that information will be available on how you get rewarded. They have the idea, but they don't actually have the metrics. The APIs for building those third-party apps on the Tomochain and the Tomo wallet will be fully ready by Q3. And then Q4, we have the official release of the chain for external parties. The smart contracts will be built so you can build apps on it. The DApp model will all be available. The decentralized exchange integration and their Plasma framework smart contract integration. And then the future is being able to build ICOs, decentralized governance, infrastructure upgrades, and building the community. So they actually have quite a bit of stuff going on, and they have a lot of things that are happening pretty soon with the project for where it's at right now. And I will go into the CoinMarketCap to give you an overview of where they are right now in the realm of the crypto sphere. Looking at their team, they do have Long Vuong. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, Vuong. And he is the CEO of Tomochain. He was also the co-founder and project lead of the NEM blockchain. So NEM is a very successful project, I believe in the top 20 right now. I can confirm once we go back to CoinMarketCap, but he is very experienced in the blockchain sphere. He also has a good team behind them. They do have a lot of history with blockchain and engineering and IT realms, so I do think they have a pretty solid team. Looking at the advisors, I've seen Roger Lim's name pop up many places before. He is the director of the Keeling Foundation, and he is also one of the advisors and members of the Neo Global Capital. So Neo is involved with this project. They do have advisors. They are one of the partners and investors in the project. So obviously when Neo puts their name behind something, allows their logo to be on someone's site, or they vetted a project, that always makes me feel a lot more confident, especially when one of the people of the Neo Global Capital Group is on their advisor team. That definitely is a huge plus for me when it comes to investing, researching, and getting into a project. So that's always a big plus on my side. Going to the actual published things they have going on right now, as I mentioned, you can actually get their Tomo app, and you can see examples of what their questions and answering and their reward model might eventually look like. So basically people can put their questions up there and then people can answer it and be vocal in their community. They can become community experts. And it's a really cool model to be able to get information out there, because we have things like Facebook, we have things like Twitter, but this is more of a Q&A based social media platform, which is really interesting in my personal opinion, because we all use Google to search for everything, but this is a more personalized manner of being able to do it. And maybe not as traditional, but it could be very productive when it comes to being able to get information out there. This is their Tomo wallet, which I think is really cool, and they do have the ability to show you how you can cash in, cash out your Tomo coins from the Ethereum blockchain. Basically, this is how much Tomo coins you have based on your Ethereum wallet, and you can actually cash in your Tomo coins onto the Tomochain. So this is how you can switch back and forth from the Tomochain to Ethereum chain, and this is on the testnet right now, so it does take quite a bit of time for it to actually show out, but you can see I actually did it earlier and I was able to cash out on Tomochain and bring it to the Ethereum network. So you can actually play around with their Tomo wallet, which I think is really interesting. They do have some more data on their wallet you can play around with. You can send it to external addresses. You can see how much information is out there. They also have their testnet information out there where you can actually view some of the things they're playing around with right now and see how long the transaction times are and how they're doing with that. They also have a blockchain explorer, so you can actually see their testnet available transactions and view that valuable information. So this is the example I used before of transferring some of the information from Ethereum to the Tomochain. So this is that actual block that I had done before. So I thought it was really cool. Tomochain also had a recent announcement with a partner, Zerochain. So they will be partnering with them, which I think is really cool, because Zerochain is basically developing protocols including 2D BPOS consensus, self-forking, storage, and inflation protocols to achieve massive scalability, a fast finality, and a free dCloud. And I think utilizing this, they can help them minimize the transaction fees for DApp developers and token issuers while keeping compatible with Ethereum smart contracts and Ethereum protocols, as well as help Tomochain create chains specific to Tomo's needs and optimize their performance, especially for portions of the application, such as AI models, as the blockchain requirements are different. So, being able to do this, they're basically building a cloud decentralized storage, and they can leverage that platform for what they plan on doing with their sidechain, with their DApp model. So I thought it was really cool. You can also check out Zerochain's website to get more information about their project and how it could actually integrate with the Tomochain model. Before I get into the white paper, this is Tomochain right now. They are currently sitting at around $30 million market cap. They have a circulating supply of 55 million with a total supply of 100 million. And if we go to the white paper, you will see that the distribution of the remaining supply will come over the next couple of years, and that's based on their reward model. So every year X amount percent, less than 10% more will be available to the public because of the actual rewards model that they're going to be driving once the mainnet is available. So right now they are only at 56 cents right now, and that is a great price. Right now I think they topped at around 62 cents at one point here, and they might have been around 76 cents, 78 cents at the highest point. So they haven't gone down too much since their all-time high. Obviously, they have only been out for about a month now, a little over a month. Obviously, it's a new project. It is doing fairly well, being that we had a pretty big nosedive in the past couple of weeks. It has done a pretty nice recovery since its release. Obviously, it's a very low market cap coin that, deserves some attention, I think, in my personal opinion. But we will go through the white paper, and you obviously can do your own research and get your own personal opinion on how you think this can do in the future. So Tomochain is an innovative solution to solve the scalability problem with the Ethereum blockchain, And they plan to do this by supporting horizontal scaling by adding a second layer blockchain or multiple blockchains with good performance integrated with the Ethereum network for backup and atomic cross-chain transfer. Tomochain is envisioned to be a network of chains that supports instant confirmation, near zero transaction fee, and smart contracts that will be ideal solution for decentralized apps, token issuances, and token integrations for small and big businesses alike. Tomocoin will be the protocol token that govern and regulate this infrastructure, and Tomochain will be the critical part of the alternative financial system based on internet and blockchain technology, which is more secure, transparent, efficient, inclusive, and equitable than most traditional regimes. That was a mouthful, right? So the Tomo application is basically their first consumer application that will be on their chain. It is a social network that allows for contributors to highlight and be rewarded for their answers. The user privacy is respected and micropayments are easy. The application approaches this goal by focusing on building a Q&A social site, as I mentioned before, and it's publicly available to create a public library of instructional videos and answers. It is planned that Tomocoin will be the native currency with the Tomo application. Basically, they will be building a reward engine, and this reward engine will allow people to have a built-in economic incentive to create valuable content that will help bootstrap the social network's knowledge base until network effect kicks in. They are basically trying to build up the Q&A model and build a much bigger realization of the blockchain ecosystem by getting other users who might be out there looking for questions, looking for answers, to utilize this kind of blockchain technology and integrate them into this atmosphere that we're already in. Tomochain is designed to be a public permission chain pegged to the Ethereum network. So it is linked to the Ethereum network. It will always be a link to the Ethereum network. It is basically just a side chain on top of it, and that will be a proof of authority consensus based on the Ethereum code base. They will have master nodes that will act as the consensus. The 2-second confirmation and zero transaction fee will be a part of it. They will support Ethereum smart contracts, the APIs that will be able to be linked to the actual blockchain. They will have a zero-fee atomic cross-chain transaction between Ethereum and Tomochain back and forth, which I showed in the wallet. The sending the transaction with the Tomochain with zero fee and fast confirmation, which is repetitive from like 3 lines above. Mining, which is not available really. Cashing in and cashing out features based on the smart contracts. So mining is really just the answering and their reward model. They have a node protection against spamming algorithm, a built-in exchange protocol, and ICO smart contract templates. So this is down the road. And the decentralized governance application. So the last 2 things are further down the road, and the project obviously is just looking to the future. The wallet, as I mentioned before, is a secure, user-friendly coin that gives the financial control back to the end users. They're modeling this off the Internet of Value, which, as I mentioned, will bridge the gap between a cryptocurrency enthusiast and a mainstream user, and possibly increase the adoption rate by tenfold if they do it right. So that's their hope. Their sharing app, which is basically their tomoapp.com, where they have thousands of weekly active users as of right now. It is available on the App Store and Google Play Store, and it is a decentralized governance by multiple stakeholders in the Tomo application. The app was able to solve the problem of building a contributors network by designing an incentive system that empowers and entices users to contribute and work together to build a new knowledge sharing network. So the rewards model will work as following. Obviously, this is not written in stone right now, but basically they want to be able to have the user to be able to set a price in the Tomocoin for their answer for their fans. So if they want to set a price for answering the question, they can set a price. Also for watching their content, they can actually boost a video they produce by using Tomocoin. They can create a channel and charge a fee similar to Patreon. They can give virtual gifts of Tomocoin to live streamers. So, just like liking, you can actually give out gifts. The reward engine integration with Tomocoin, access a digital avatar and mass marketplace driven by Tomocoin, so being able to build up your avatar channel and user interface, and access a private messaging system for secure communication. So this is all built into their Tomo app model. The architecture overview of how the system works and how the sidechain looks, you can see here where they have the smart contracts, which is on the Ethereum network. I know they mentioned Bitcoin here. This is most likely something that they're looking at eventually down the road. But they have here where there's the sidechain, which is the user, the social application of it, the API, the messaging, the tasks, the actual database and the storage model. And then you have here the Tomo app, Android application, the wallet. So this is all the UI interfaces, and then the integration to the actual Ethereum blockchain. So storage, they plan on utilizing several types of databases to satisfy requirements from specific functionalities. And going back to the architecture, they talk about the different types of databases, but they don't really go into if these are going to be specific for Tomo or if they're utilizing an existing database architecture. It didn't really go too much into details. I would like to know more information on that. But as far as just databases in general, as I mentioned, they use NoSQL database, and they also will be operating through sharding techniques on the application layer to ensure read and write is at a high speed level. And they'll use cache in multiple layers of the system, such as the client side, in order to make things faster and easier for the users. They will be operating a AI model for certain functions within the Tomo application, such as optimization of the personal feed based on public profiles and activities, the suggestions of people on who to follow and content, spam and fraud detection, image and video recognition, and they base this information on privacy. This information is really meant for the user. It is not meant to collect data. So they're just trying to make sure that their AI model is used just for usability as opposed to data collection, as we know a lot of issues in the world today with data collection, i.e. Facebook. Blockchain and smart contracts. The reward engine will emit coins to users based on the contribution of users in the network. So the Tomo app works with two chains, the Ethereum and the Tomochain. Both the sidechain and the rewards engine will interact via our smart contracts. And the contributor store will be published separately, as I mentioned. They are not out there yet with the exact information, but once it gets closer to the mainnet, that will be published. They will be having SDKs and APIs available to be able to integrate with the Tomochain, Tomo Wallet, and Tomo app. The cash in, cash out model, which is what I showed before on the actual Tomo coin on the Ethereum network and the Tomo network. So being able to transfer back and forth as needed. This is the Ethereum main chain and the Tomochain, on being able to pull that information in when you need it on the Tomochain, or you can keep it on the Ethereum one. So really interesting model on how they do that, the integration between those two. Proof of authority. So this talks about how the nodes in the proof of authority consensus model will be chosen based on collaboration between parties and is suitable for an organization who wants to build a transparent blockchain supporting external auditability but control who can join the node network. The Tomochain opts to use proof of authority and build nodes in multiple locations to make sure the database is in a highly secure, immutable state. In the future, other organizations want to utilize this architecture can join to be a partner and operator of the Tomochain. And then they compare themselves with Steam and how they feel the Tomo application is a much more mobile-friendly option. The plan is to make the Tomo application one of the best social knowledge and sharing applications. They have a strong understanding of the markets, and they feel that they can try to meet or compare to what Steam's market cap is, which they, at this time of the white papers, was $550 million market cap. So they have long-term goals on being one of the leaders in the social media blockchain application platform. So what do I think of Tomochain? Well, I think Tomochain definitely has a long-term roadmap. They do have a lot of things in store. They do have the Neo partnership, which is a huge, huge plus. They do have the Zero Chain partnership. They have a unique operating model with their sidechain and an existing proof of concept with their application, with their wallet, with their testnet. So I do think they have a working product that can definitely be a mainstream app. Obviously, it's going to come down to being able to get more users on the platform as soon as possible. It is a very small project, which means higher risk, but higher rewards. I definitely think Tomochain has what it takes to be a contender, or at least survive the market that we're in and be one of the people that remain long term. Obviously, right now it's still very low. And when I had first looked at this project, it was much lower in the 30-cent range. So 56 cents is definitely really good right now. And, obviously do your own research. This is not financial advice. I think Tomochain has a very good potential for 2018, 2019 moving forward. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell option so you can get notified of all the videos that I'm going to be doing. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thanks again for tuning in.